make sure about that.
Oh. Hey,
Yeah.
Abigail.
Sinus. Hi, Abby.
Hey, how are you?
Sinus.
She's
I got
had,
my freezers.
she's been coughing. She's been coughing. She has the sinus problem. What is it,
I
like
had
an
a
allergy?
sinus infection too.
Is it like an allergy?
I think it's more like she's saying it's probably an infection. They put me on a Z-Pack.
Ah,
I had antibiotics too.
Yeah.
I had like an ear infection or something.
But it's like an asthmatic kind of a cough thing. If I start hacking my brains out, I'll turn off my mic so you don't have to hear it.
well, we'll appreciate that.
You don't want to hear it. How are you?
I'm hanging in. Yeah, doing the best I can with what I got, which today I got. All right, everybody, hold on to your seats.
Now I saw John.
Terry got a new iPhone 13 today.
Oh wow!
Good.
And I got an Apple SE. So
What's the SE?
well,
Yeah.
it's a smaller version of the iPhone. It's a little bit smaller. But I won't have my
It's not a flip phone anymore.
it's not a flip phone anymore. Yeah,
Welcome to the.
thank you. Well,
Welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
oh, fuck you all. Okay. So,
Excuse
Now
me.
you can send
Yeah,
emojis.
you know how
or
long it
what?
was till I got a phone, period.
well,
Posted
listen,
me on
it was
on
only it was
Facebook and said, "Welcome to the 21st century."
It was only for two reasons. First of all, I got a notice a month ago from Verizon that my phone wouldn't work anymore after December 31st. And then I kept seeing these ads that you get a free phone even if you're I've been with Verizon for about 10 years. Even a regular customer or a new customer is supposed to get a free phone. So, so I called up and I said, yeah, I know this is not going to happen, but because it must be some little glitch in the advertising. But it turned out that, all I had to do was to pay taxes on two new phones. The SE was $400 and Terry's was $800. I got her an iPhone 13. And so it was like $180 extra. And then my phone bill's only gonna go up $10 a month. So that's okay.
That's
So,
not bad.
well, yeah, I mean, a free iPhone 13, with all those fancy cameras and stuff. Terry's beside herself in Miami when I called her and told her about it. So
Now you guys won't see each other for a month.
no. We'll be sitting right next to each other because she's going to have to teach me how to work it,
But you'll be sitting next to each other, but she'll be on her phone and you'll be on your phone. You won't
That
see each
part is
other
going
for
to
a
be
month.
fun.
Yeah, she's gonna push all my buttons. I love that.
That's
I'll go,
nice.
oh, honey, you forgot a button over here. Oh, where's Jillian? Barbara is sick tonight, unfortunately.
God,
I know, I was so
never
disappointed.
gonna meet her.
I know, well, you'll meet her next week.
So I read this thing
What thing?
and I'm a
Oh,
little
yeah.
confused.
Why are you
At the
confused?
end, it says that Catherine raises a hand like she recognizes somebody out there and gets up and runs up. Is that Billy?
Probably is.
Then he did come back.
Yes. So that would be a good writing. That's called a reversal. In other words, they've totally made you think one thing, and then in 2 seconds it reverses. That's supposed to be a sign of great writing.
Ah, okay.
And every time you write something, then you got to figure out what the opposite of it is and reverse it so that the audience doesn't see it coming. So great writing involves a lot of reversals. And so that's what that was.
Okay.
Did you just go call Jillian?
No,
Hey, Abby
my
called.
son. It sounded like my son was choking, and I was like, what's going on?"
Is he all
He
right?
was choking on a corn kernel, but he's okay.
Good.
I'm like,
Jillian's last name.
Messerios. I'm going to give her a quick call.
You're gonna do it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Because I think she's in my phone, but I've not had to call her. So I
Uh-huh.
don't know for sure.
All right.
I have her number.
I got her here. I'm getting it.
Oh, okay.
I got two numbers for her. What number do you have? 0200?
Let me pull her.
Jillian, let's see. We're gonna go to contacts. JIL.
No, 9433.
Okay, well,
That's what I have too.
all right, this must be an old number. I shall try again. Watch me try again. Let's see.
You guys noticed how Funny Girl is throwing up all its People's Choice Awards?
Oh,
Don't make
did-
a thing
yeah.
about Tonys.
They got nominated for Tonys, right? Didn't they?
One.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Wow.
the only one that got it was the guy that plays Eddie.
Oh, the tap dancer, right?
Yes.
Okay, hop on. I'll talk to you.
Nomination.
See you soon.
He's
Bye.
great. He's just phenomenal.
He's the only nomination, and that's exactly what it
What
should.
role did he get nominated for?
Featured actor in the musical.
I mean, but what role did he play in the play?
Oh, Eddie,
Eddie.
her friend, the one who puts her in bikinis.
Oh, okay. Wow, he plays such a small, he must play a bigger part in the in
Well,
Harvey's rewrite, right?
well, they gave him his own tap dance at the end of the first sequence. And I
Wow.
sat there thinking either she needs costume change time or this is in his contract.
Uh-huh.
It has nothing to do with the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's probably the issue with the whole show as well, too, is, that it just wasn't well written. I don't know why they didn't stick with the original, because it was pretty fucking great.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah,
They
anyway.
still need someone who can carry it, and it's not Beanie Feldstein.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't look right. She doesn't seem
No.
right. It just,
She looks like his kid sister or his daughter when she's next to Raman Karamlu, and when they're singing "You Are Woman, I Am Man," that's creepy.
yeah, and she's got to be like a natural clown, a natural comedian, and I don't get that energy from her either.
Mhm.
So,
Not.
amazing. That was Jillian right there. There she is. You know what?
Hey,
I got to tell you
Hi.
this. Jillian forgot what time it was.
you did.
You're muted.
I was like, I'm gonna practice piano for 10 minutes, and then it just,
Yeah, and you got carried away.
I
You
did.
look like you're in a sepia tone picture on my screen. Anyway, it's sort of. Is that you guys see that as well? It's sort of
He looks
sepia.
brown, and I look black and white.
Yeah, you do. Well, you always look white.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, you're very white. I get that. I get that a lot myself, and it's terrible now because I can't go out
I'm
in the
not
sun.
white, I'm not black, I'm gypsy.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna take my hair down.
Okay, good. And is your hair darker too, or not?
It looks really, that's why I'm like freaked out. I'm like, I look weird colors. My hair looks black. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Well, it looks. You look like we should be doing something from the 1800s. You should be doing a play from the 1800s.
Lady Chatterley's lover.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, so let's go over what we're going to work on tonight. I know Vasily and Cindy are going to continue working on Torch Song, and Cindy, you're going to go a little further with your monologue. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Both of those things. And Jillian didn't hear, but Barbara, you're still not going to meet Barbara tonight because she's sick. So I think what I'm going to do is, if we end up Zooming on Sunday night again, then.
Wait,
I'll
going
bring
back
her-
to Zoom?
Well, we had to last week because John got COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Well, so we're just playing it week by week,
well, the funniest
On
part,
Sunday, can I come?
Huh,
funniest part about John, he got finally results from PCR tests, so he turned to be positive instead of negative.
Oh,
The one he did just a regular test, the rapid one.
How's
he
he
did
doing?
the rapid ones were both negative, and then the PCR was positive.
No, the very first time it was negative. The second time it was positive. Then it was positive when I did a test to him a couple days ago. Then he went for a rapid test. It turned to be negative, and then he did a PCR test, and he got the results today. It's positive.
Shit.
So it goes like this: positive, negative, no, negative, positive, negative, positive, positive, negative,
I think that's
and then
great.
positive.
That's great lyric for a song.
I'm telling you,
Go back to Zoom. I'll pay for both of them.
Oh, Cindy, yeah, let's make it wait. We'll play it week by week and see.
Okay.
All right. Okay, hi, you guys. So Jillian, how did your shoot go? I want to know that first, because we
Yeah.
talked about that last week. Did you really work on what we talked about, and did it go well?
So the director changed a couple things like on site, on the spot, and he had me filming in this like his home is so lovely and it's in Shaker, and it did not look like this abandoned small town place and this
Right.
empty home. It was like beautiful.
Right.
And so I got confused on set, like, should I change the backstory? Like, how should I, what do I do right now? Because he moves very rapidly.
Mhm.
And, but I felt comfortable in the space, and I felt at least like not timid. I felt like I was kind of like owning the space and the scenario, and just it really went moment to moment, and it went well. I mean, I felt good about it leaving, but I was thrown off by the site, the where we were
locations.
shooting, and it just wasn't what was listed in the script or described. So, thinking I'm in this empty house and, my dead dad's house, and there's these books, and I'm, it's just like, it was not like that. So I was like,
but the actions were still the same. The activity was still the same, right?
very similar. Yes. And
because,
it was,
go ahead.
yeah, no, it was that silent acting, and just a lot of moments where you do something and then you have to like look up and give a look, and just like look out, like you're pondering.
Right.
And that is so typical. We see this in TV and film all the time.
Oh,
These
of
actors,
course.
But for some, I think that's something that can be played around with, because it's like kind of weird. Like, cause that like the camera, it was just this weird, like conscious moment where I kind of went out of all of the activity that was going on and the busyness of my character to, oh, okay, now look up and show emotion. I was like,
Yeah.
So some of those moments were hard for me. Just the action and the listening when I'm doing something, but when it's just my character has a thought and the camera needs to capture it and she's just kind of staring into space, I got a little wigged out. But I mean, so
Listen,
I don't
but
know.
that's I just have to say, Jillian, that's the greatest opportunity you can have in film. Absolutely the greatest opportunity, because you can really focus on bringing the camera inside of you and putting those thoughts that are going through your head deep inside of you, and letting that just all sort of happen. And you were prepared for this, so obviously you shouldn't be afraid of making adjustments when you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And it sounds like you felt like you knew what you were doing and that you were able to adjust to it, but you had a couple of weird moments because all of a sudden there was something you didn't expect happening.
Yeah, I kept in those moments, and I felt like, wow, this is incredible that I am having, the camera, it's right there, like it's really just me, and it's just capturing me. And I thought, I don't know that I've had a role where I was able to do that. And but maybe a couple things could have been it was maybe the pressure of that I kind of felt.
But tell me what the pressure is with the camera, because if we don't like it and you don't feel comfortable, we can do a second take. If you're comfortable and the director doesn't like it, you can do a third take. Why does that frighten you? Because it should really embolden you, because if you can take that fear and that confusion and put it inside of you and say that that's what that was here for, then it allows you an opportunity to create in a situation that you would never have. So you should always look at that as a positive and not ever be afraid when you're shooting a film, ever, because they can always retake it. That's the big advantage. I mean, I understand you being scared on stage because you're in front of 500 people and they're all expecting you to get it right. And you can't say, whoops, can I shoot that scene again? That's scary. But a movie, don't be scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
It felt like this is the moment where they'll really see the truth, you know, and when you're saying this in working with you, like, I know that I know the truth of this person, you know, I know I have experiences and I know this truth,
Yes.
but I don't talk to myself like that on set, you know, I talk to myself like, you're an imposter. You know what I mean? It just goes, I'm having major imposter syndrome right now today.
Have you been hanging out with Abigail on the
Yes.
side, because the all of a
I've gotten
sudden,
a lot better, actually.
yeah. Well, I know you have.
I don't hear that negative talk as often as I used
That's
to.
great. That's great. And when you hear that negative talk, how do you get rid of it?
Make the character busier.
Thank you. That's just it. Once you hear that first word of negative talk, just shut the fuck up and get the character busy. You know what I mean? Let me just put it plainly. Just,
Yeah.
you know, just know that that's the signs. Like, oh, wow, I'm putting my energy in the wrong place. I'm getting this energy from someplace. God knows where nerves come from. I have no idea, but it is an incredible source of energy, and you should always bless it when it's coming to you, because it's something that I don't know where it comes from, but I know it's powerful. And I know that if you're afraid of it, it will defeat you. And I know that if you face it and learn to face it and embrace it, it will eventually become almost something that you're waiting for to happen to you, so that you can pull on that energy. It can be addictive. Nervous energy can be addictive like a drug. And you can see this in some people. I mean, you know, I use golf a lot as an example because it's a completely solo sport. Everything that happens is your fault. Everything. So you can imagine the sort of negative shit that is always coming into you, because if anything goes wrong, you got nobody else to blame. What the fuck is that? What am I going to do with that? But here, and it's the golfers who are the greatest in the world. Well, Tiger Woods, the greatest in the world, right? Not because he's the greatest athlete, he has the greatest mind. He loves the competition. He loves the nerves. And the only way you're ever going to learn to love that is to start to bless it every time, even though you don't mean it right now, you don't believe it yet. It takes a long time of not being a believer to convince your body that you are a believer. And that's what you need to go, and why you need to put yourself into scary situations as often as you can, so that you're dealing with that demon in a positive way. And that's why you're going into that situation. Wow. Yeah. I mean,
That's
really.
just what I needed to, that's just the lesson I needed. Yeah. Wow.
And when you said, though, like, you know, you shouldn't be afraid on like film because you can retake, you know, you
Sure.
can get another take after take. But
Yeah.
what if the director, I mean, you as an actor feels like, oh, that wasn't that great. It didn't feel good. But then
Yeah.
the director's like, oh, no, it's, you know, it's fine. And they only want to do that one take, or, you know.
Well, when you're Nicole Kidman, they will retake it for you. But, you know, and, you know.
Well,
and,
yeah, now it's just like you don't get that extra
well,
take.
I know, but I love you for saying that you want to request it, that you say you didn't feel like you were totally into it. And I think I can give you a better take. Will you give me that opportunity? The director says, no, it's his film. You walk away, you feel good, but you said what you wanted to say as an artist.
Okay.
All right. And that's, and that the way you should always frame it is, I really think I can give you something better. It's not about me.
Okay.
Right. That's the best way to get from something from somebody else. It's a chapter in my book. If you look on the chapters on how to deal with different directors, there are like 4 different chapters on how to deal with directors, how to deal with the histrionic screamer, how to deal with the director who doesn't tell you anything, you know, how to deal with the director who directs every tiny little movement. You know, there you have to find what the director is good at. And it's usually pretty obvious. And then try to complement the director and in that direction. Try to work into the strength of the director. Try to empower the person that's going to empower you. But a lot of actors make it about them and say, no, I got to have another take. Well, the director's happy with that. And he says, oh, no, I don't want to do another take. Says, well, I sucked. And he said, no, you don't suck. You see how it just starts this whole thing. But if you say to them, I really think I can give you something a little bit better if we do one more take, right? Then you're contributing to the project. You just have to figure out how, and that's why the experience is invaluable. Both of you are getting a lot of invaluable experience in student films. And that's why you should look for opportunities to do student films, because it's going to give you the courage when the right opportunity comes. You're going to be ready for the right opportunity.
Yeah, just having the courage to actually say that, like, oh.
Absolutely, Abigail. But if you go in and you've put the kind of work that Jillian put into preparing herself for that shoot, and you walk in and they owe you something too, right? You've put in a lot of fucking work, and you should not be afraid ever to say, I know I can do this better. Let's try it again. Ever say that when you're doing a film, because all they can do is say no.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why somebody goes, oh, I don't really want to ask them because I don't really want to talk. What's the worst they can do? They can say no.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm so scared. They said no. But I know I'm right, and I know I'm being true to myself, and that's what's going to make you strong as an artist.
Yeah.
Okay. I can give you something a little more if you give me another shot at this. What a sweet thing to say. So are you done shooting, Jillian?
No, I'm shooting Saturday and Sunday. We just did a couple small baby scenes
Okay.
where I'm just doing things around my house. And so Saturday and Sunday, we're doing the scene out at the gas station that we worked on last week.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Now, Abigail, tell me where you are. What's that?
I can't make it on Saturday. He asked me to go on Saturday and Sunday, but
Yeah.
my schedule is all
Fucked
whack
up.
right now. So yeah.
So you're not going to shoot?
No, we're gonna, I think, wait till I get back from
Oh, okay.
vacation.
Okay. What, you're going on vacation?
In June.
In June.
Like,
Okay.
yeah. And then
All
I
right.
have the Obama thing until the 5th. So then it's just like there's rehearsal and then.
Isn't that nice? That's great.
Like
I
the-
know, but it's hard for you because you got a kid.
I have a little part in the Marilyn Bianchi's The Kids
Oh, the Kids
Playwright
Fest.
Fest. Yeah. So
That's
just
great.
putting myself out there.
That's great.
Good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She's an older woman, right? Bianchi, right? Or
She's
she-
dead.
I don't think she's
Yeah,
alive.
because the name sounded so
Okay.
familiar to me. Right.
John
Okay.
Yeah,
Bianchi's
this is like their
wife.
44th annual Kids Fest.
Yeah.
Okay. How great. How
Yeah,
great.
she died from cancer years ago.
Yeah, I recognized the name and I hadn't heard it in obviously 30 or 40 years. So I was just curious if it was the same person.
Yeah.
Um,
Like a 5-minute play and I play a 3rd grader.
all right.
Like all the adults play kids and the kids are playing adults. It's cute.
Oh yeah, that's fun. I love that. There's a song, a play called I think I'm a Peanut, where it's all about kids, but they're all played by adults.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Jillian, are you going to work on the film tonight?
I have the film, yes, and I am starting in rehearsals this week for another show, and maybe I might like just talk to you about it a little bit.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we can do that scene from the film. It may not take
no.
long, just a couple of times.
What do you want to do? Is that what you want to do?
I think because of the confusion, like I think I would like to run through it again.
Okay.
But maybe just like once or twice, I don't know if we have to I could just do what we talked about and make sure I didn't.
As my friend Leo would say, whatever blows your dress up.
Leo, no.
Leo died. He died in 1999, 2 months before the new millennium. And Leo, it's so ironic. He wonderful old guy. He looked like Ernest Hemingway. Actually, he won the contest in Key West one year. He went down and he won the Ernest Hemingway lookalike contest in Key West. And Leo was just the most amazing guy. And he was supposed to have a New Year's Eve party on the Millennium, and then he was going to kill himself the next day so he wouldn't have to clean up.
Oh my God.
And he ended up dying about 2 months before the Millennium, so he never got a chance to have his crazy. He says, "I'm inviting everybody. I'm spending all my money." He was pretty rich too, and he never got to do it. But the whole reason was so that he wouldn't have to clean up.
Oh God.
Anyway, let's start. So Jillian, you can think about what you want to work on, and Abigail, you're going to work on your scenes from the film this week. Are you?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, I want to do that.
And you guys have the scripts for each other's readers, right? Okie doke. All right. So while you guys get set on what you're going to really focus on, I'm going to start and work with Cindy and Vasily, and then I'll come back to you guys, and then we'll close up with Cindy's monologue at the end of the night. All right.
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
Okay. Okay.
All righty then. Here we go. I got paper. I'm ready to roll. You guys have anything you want to talk about before we start? You guys have worked, I assume. You keep working on it. I love that. I'll take that as a yes, we have been working. And
Unfortunately, we didn't have any chance to do it.
okay. So
You were going to work yesterday and he
But it is-
forgot and I fell asleep.
We both forgot it.
okay.
And I got a text at 12:30 from 11:30 p.m. going, "Are you still up?" I'm like, "Oh shit."
I must be losing my edge. Everybody's forgetting about me. Jillian forgets about
No.
me. You forget to rehearse.
No, well, I got the sinus thing, which really screwed my whole
I
brain up.
got carried away by work, so.
Oh, all right. Well, that's a good thing. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. But be aggressive with what you're doing. All right. Don't protect yourself. Take some chances. All right. Yeah, here we go.
Round two. Yahoo! Mrs. Bloom. It's safe to come out. David and Ann went for a walk and we've got the whole place to fight in.
Enjoy yourself. I'm going to bed.
I'm sorry. I lost my temper.
I'm glad you're sorry.
Please come out. We cannot talk like this.
Oh, geez. I hit a button and you disappear. Okay, give me 1 second. You don't want to talk. You want to fight. But I don't fight with my children. In your life, did you ever hear your father and I fight? No. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Because all my childhood, I listened to fights. My father fought with my mother fought with my brother, my mother fought with me. When I married your father, I told him, "Jack, I'll talk, but I won't fight." Did you ever hear us fight? No. And now you know why.
You want to sit?
I'm sitting.
All right.
And don't holler at me. People say things they don't mean when they holler, and you've already said quite enough.
I won't holler. Just hit a raw nerve. We won't discuss Ellen, only David.
So discuss.
Why don't you tell me what you already know and we will go on from there?
I don't know anything.
You spend the whole day with him. He must have said something.
Let me think. He's an orphan.
He's not an orphan.
He said he was an orphan.
Well, he is not. He was a battered child. They took him away from his parents. This is his third foster home. The first brought him back. The second he ran away from. So he's not.
No, he's a liar.
He is not a liar.
This isn't gonna work.
Oh, come on, we're finally getting somewhere.
How do you expect me to sit here and discuss this insanity?
That's right, that's not going to work.
Arnold, what do you know from raising a child?
What's to know? Whenever I have a problem, I simply imagine how you would solve it, and I do the opposite.
Is this what you invited me up here? To insult me and spit on your father's grave?
Oh, for crying out, will you sit down?
Don't holler. I'm sitting. I don't know why, but I'm sitting.
All right. Now we're going to talk about David. Not Ellen, not Diddy, just David. And we're going to stay calm.
Ah,
Give up.
Arnold, darling, open your eyes. Don't you see how ridiculous this is? I've been here less than a day. Already I've seen you let him miss school, hang out on the street, go out without dinner.
Oh, this is hardly a typical day.
Oh, you want to talk or make excuses?
This isn't little Lord Fauntleroy we're talking about here. If this kid decided I was coming down too hard on him, he'd pack up and take off and I'd never get him back. And that sweet-looking little boy knows how to make more money in a night than you and I can make in a week.
So you let him run wild.
No, but I don't beat him up either. I teach him, I advise him, I set up an example for him. And
Some example. Arnold, look, you live the life you want. I put my fist in my mouth. I don't say a word. This is what you want. But think about the boy. He likes you. He told me he loves you. He sees you living like this. Don't you think it's going to affect him?
David's gay.
But he's only been here 6 months.
He came that way.
No one comes that way.
Oh, what an opening.
Oh, by you, everything is a joke.
Don't you understand? The whole purpose of placing him here was for him to grow up with a positive attitude about his homosexuality.
That's it. I'm finished. The world has gone completely mad and I'm heading south for the summer.
Make it very difficult to have an intelligent conversation.
You want an intelligent conversation? Do what I do. Talk to yourself. It's the only way.
You think this is easy for me? Look, my hands are shaking. I've been like this for days, knowing you'd be coming and we had to talk about this.
Because you knew I'd show you how wrong you are.
No, I'm not wrong.
No?
No.
Tell me something. How old was your friend Alan when you met him?
17.
17. 17. And you were doing God knows what together. Now, tell me, how old is this son of yours?
I have no intention of sleeping with him, if that's what you're driving at.
Oh, I had no intention of having a homosexual for a son, so look where intentions get you. Arnold, do what you want. You want to live like this. Gay gesundte hate. I don't care anymore. You're not going to make me sick like you did your father.
I made my father sick?
Oh, no, he was thrilled to have a fairy for a son. Took a lifetime of dreams and threw them back in his face.
What life of dreams? I knew I was gay for 14 years.
Well, what, you think you walk into a room and say, hi, Dad, I'm queer, and that's that? You think that's what we brought you into the world for? Believe me, if I'd known, I wouldn't have bothered. Got you tear off my tongue. I should talk to my child this way. Arnold, you're my son. You're a good person, a sensitive person with a heart and a horror like your father. And I try to love you for that and forget this, but you won't let me. You've got to throw me on the ground and rub my face in it. You haven't spoken a sentence since I got here without the word gay in it.
Because that's what I am.
Well, if that were all, you could have left it in there where it belongs, in private, but no, you're obsessed with it. You're not happy unless everyone's talking about it. Well, I don't know why you don't just wear a big sign and get it over with.
I don't know what to say to you. I really don't. I'm not trying to throw it in your face, but it is what I am, and it's not just a matter of who I sleep with. Try to imagine the world the other way around. Imagine that every movie, book, magazine, TV shows, newspapers, commercial, billboard told you that you should be homosexual, but you know you're not, and you know that for you this is.
Arnold, stop already. You're talking crazy.
You know what? It's crazy that after all these years, I'm still here justifying my life. That's what it's crazy.
You call this a life? This is a sickness. but this is what you've chosen for yourself.
Ma, look, I'm gay. I don't know why. I don't think anyone does, but that's what I am. For as far as back as I can remember, back before I knew it was different or wrong.
You have not heard a word I've said.
I know. You'd rather I was straight, but I'm not. Would you also rather I had lied to you? My friends all think I'm crazy for telling you that. Never dream of telling they never dream of telling their parents. Instead, they cut their parents out of their lives, and the parents wonder, why are my children so distant? Is that what you'd rather?
But it doesn't have to be our every conversation either.
You want part in my life? I'm not going to edit out these things you don't like.
Can we end this conversation?
No. There is one more thing you've got to understand. You made fun of my crocheting before. You think it's a cute little effeminate thing I do. Well, let me tell you something. I have taught myself to sew, cook, fix plumbing, do taxes, build furniture. I can even pat myself on the back when necessary. Also, I don't have to ask anyone for anything. There is nothing I need from anyone except love and respect. And anyone who cannot give me those two things has no place in my life. You're my mother and I love you, I do, but if you can't respect me, then you've got no business being here.
You're throwing me out.
Oh God, what I'm trying to tell you!
Throwing me out. Oh, isn't that nice? Listen, mister, you get one mother in this world, only one. Wait, you just wait.
Yeah, Mom, you tell him. Well, maybe you guys shouldn't rehearse, because that's one of the best runs I've ever seen of the piece on both of your parts.
Oh,
What was great about it for you, Cindy, was is that you seemed to take more time to listen this time. I don't know why, but there was just a little more of that happening, and I think it's exactly the right way to go. I mean, for a moment or two, it always takes her a little time to digest what's actually happening, right?
mhm.
So, yeah. Vasily, it just gets better all the time.
Yeah.
Especially absolutely from the halfway point on, you're just running on pure emotion, and you're really trying to push through it. And you're trying to make sense out of it, and the character is very busy. It's terrific. And your beginning was, I don't know if all of you noticed this, all of you, the other two of you noticed, but one of the things that Vasily has really learned and is now part of his process is that he always takes as much time as he wants before he starts talking. He always makes sure that he's in the right place before he starts to talk. And that's now become part of his process. He's heard my bullshit for so long, he's actually using it as part of his process now. And I got to tell you, that's the most rewarding thing for me, is when I can make what I'm trying to teach you process. And so I just want to say that was terrific, and a terrific start, and allow you to make some great decisions. Hey, Cindy, Vasily, what's the first line? It's "you can come out now." Is that right? What is it?
Yoo-hoo, Mrs. Bloom, it's safe to come out. David and Ed went for a walk, and we've got the whole place to fight in.
Good. What's your next line, Cindy?
Enjoy yourself. I'm going to bed.
Good. Just say, "Fuck you, I'm going to bed."
Fuck you. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, right. Good. Same thing. Enjoy yourself. I'm going to bed.
Ah.
Right? You see what I'm saying? You're really saying I'm not going to talk.
Enjoy yourself. I'm going to bed.
Yeah. Enjoy yourself. I'm going to bed. You go ahead. You talk to yourself. You have a good time. It really means something to you, but you really have to think fuck there. You have to really, because that's the epitome of Jewish guilt. Just putting it right on top of them. Well, fuck you. I'm going over here.
How do you know?
Anyway, huh?
Was one of your wives Jewish? How do you know?
I was one of my wife. My wife's now is Jewish.
Oh, that's right. Terry is Jewish. That's why you would know.
And I directed Fiddler on the Roof 5 times. So that officially makes me, after the third time I got circumcised.
You're not very
so
Little
anyway,
too much method, isn't it?
yeah, really, I had to. I felt like I was missing something. I don't know. I suppose if it didn't go well, I could have been missing something. Yeah.
Apparently, definitely no Jewish life.
Cindy, do me a favor, just for a second, just feel this, right? Take both of your arms and cross it like this. Just cross them like that. What does that feel like?
Well, I
you.
know one of those is that's very defensive where you're not going to break through, but it also feels like I'm the mother and what I say is going to be what goes on.
Good. I like both of those things. So when you say, and you come into the room and you say, I'm going to, and he says, will you sit down? Will you sit down? I want you to go, I'm sitting. In other words, it's like, I'm here. So you see how that sort of sets you as an impenetrable rock.
Like,
okay?
now what?
Now what? Yeah. Okay. Now what's it gonna? I just want to see. I want you, when you do that, I want you to feel that physicality, right? I want you to. All right, and I don't want you to follow through on whatever it is you're feeling.
In the script, it just says she starts looking for
I don't care
a
what
chair
it
and
says.
goes, I'm sitting.
I don't care what it says in the script. This is
I'm
deeper than
sitting.
that. Yeah, sit as an action, arm crossed. You don't know. Yeah. Are you chewing gum or sucking on something?
Lozenge.
Ah, okay, good.
I don't do that normally, but it's to keep.
I
the
know. I
rest
saw you
going.
doing it. I went, "Oh, Mom, what are you doing?" But now I realize you have a sore throat, so you better.
Well,
suck
no,
it.
it's the cough. I'm
Okay,
trying to keep it under control.
good.
I would never do that for any other reason.
Right. So, Vasily, one thing I want to remind you of is that it is still, and we talked about this last time a lot, that this is still 1970. So when you say, I'm gay, I don't, you say, I don't think anyone knows if they're, what is that line?
I don't know why. I don't think everyone knows.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't think anyone knows.
You
Yeah.
see how this is before that the medical science has said to us that people who are gay have a different chromosome, have a different effect. This is all before that. So it comes from, it's got to come. I mean, it's not that I don't believe the line. It's just, I want you to understand the background of it for 1970 instead of 2022. Just, that's a clear line from 1970. You're really not sure, and all of your friends aren't sure whether they made this choice or whether that they've always felt naturally. I mean, this is a big. I think this was a big discussion in the gay community many years ago, before we knew anything. Right. So I just want you to think of it in those terms. Okay. Make sense? Also, Cindy, you have a line that says, I don't care anymore.
You want to live like this, gay gets unto hate. I don't care anymore. You're not going to make me sick like you did your father.
All right. I don't care anymore. I'm through with you. In other words, there is another piece of Jewish guilt. You're throwing that on there. And it's also the next step to alcoholism. I don't give a fuck. I don't care anymore. I mean, it's like throwing your arm. I mean, it's deeper than what you're playing there.
Okay.
Because she doesn't know how to, I mean, that's the shit we say when we're in an argument and we're talking with somebody and we don't know what to say back. Because you're clearly not moving him and he's clearly not moving you.
Right.
Right? I mean, two immovable objects. Vasily.
Rock at Gibraltar in the room.
Right. Vasily, the strength that you create in standing up for yourself comes from a really human, deep place, and I love it. But she says, should we end this discussion? That no has got to be it's got to be no. I'm going to forward this a little bit further. I'm going to take this another step. So that the reason you're stopping is to say, and you know what else? I'm not going to sit there and take this sort of, you're a gay sissy, or that's why you knit. I'm not going to take that crap anymore because it's what I love to do. And I'm not going to listen so that you've already stood up against your mother, and your mother says, should we end this discussion? And I think that you have to be, your character is emboldened to stop it and take it one step further now that you've had the courage to take it as many steps as you have in this discussion. mean, the thing that you've been most afraid of was this discussion, and now you're pretty much finished with it to the point where she says, can I leave the discussion? No. No, no, you know what? As a matter of fact, you can't yet. I'm not done. So it's like she opened Pandora's box, and once it's opened, you can't shut it again, and you want to keep it wide open. Does that make more sense that way?
Yes.
Does Pandora have a box in Russia?
So let me ask you this, so just to make much more clear for myself. So the fact that I did a little bit long, a pause too long, when I say no, there is one more thing you've got to understand, blah, 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 blah. So that the pause between no and the rest of this, the next sentence,
Right.
do you think that pause kind of interrupts the energy I've been creating? So it has to be much, I mean,
I don't care what that is a result for you. I could give you a direction, but I swear to God, if you mean it, if you mean what I'm talking to you about, it will work either way. In other words, if you mean, no, this discussion is not over because I haven't told you everything that's in my soul, and now that I've just ripped it open for you, I've got to tell you this aspect. As long as it's that, then it'll work. Doesn't have anything to do with a technical pause.
okay.
Right? It has to do with your belief in the fact that you're having the courage to say, she's saying, is this discussion over? And you're going, no. It's not, because I haven't told you everything, and that's all based on what has just happened before you. You never would have, if she came out and she says, okay, I'm sitting, and you said, no, I want you to stand, right? Then it would be you having that courage at the very beginning, but you don't. You don't have, and not only do you end up telling her the truth that's in your heart, which is so compelling and you do so well, you're willing for yourself, for your own self, for your character's self, you're willing to take the chance to say what's truly deeply hurting you that she says to you all the time about all these other little things that you do. I have to, no, I've let this much out. I got to tell you this one more thing. That's got to be truthful. That makes sense? You've earned that. Your character has earned that moment. God, you have been very patient with this bigoted woman.
It just crossed my mind.
What?
The very last section, that the monologue, he said, there's one more thing you've got to understand. You made a fun of crocheting before. You think it's a cute, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. From all that, what he said, I have taught myself to sew, cook, fish, plumb, and do taxes, build furniture. I can even pat myself on the back when necessary, blah, blah, blah. For some reason, I got a sense that he's been trying to cover that experience when he was a little boy, as if like his mother did everything for him, like pestering him in a way.
Mm-hmm.
That in a way she would pester him, and yet eventually when he got her disappointed because he is gay, he started reprimanding for him. So as if like there is a double guilt. There is a guilt on his side and her guilt, and a guilt on her side. It's very complex here,
Yeah, well, there's betrayal in it too. I mean, my mother, who paid close attention to me and was actually, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it feels like, so what are you telling me? Why are you still reprimanding me? You actually brought myself up that way.
Yeah.
I mean, that there is a hidden sense of that, what I feel there,
Yeah, absolutely. I think you feel betrayed. And so you have to straighten her out on that very last beat.
Okay, so that's part very resonance with me.
Okay.
You should read the coming out story. And I finished the book. And where that whole scene came from was this horrendous evening where the parents went out and they said he could bring one friend over, and the friend brought the friend.
Uh-huh.
And that friend said, "Can we use your parents' bed? And can you take pictures?" And they were just preening, and and he had the film, and this was back when you had to develop it.
Uh-huh.
And he went and developed the pictures just to be done with it. He was going to give it to them, and he met him at the theater, and he didn't have the envelope. And he came home, and the envelope was on the table with the parents there. And this, oh my God, she's like, "In my bed? Is that our bedroom? So you're gay? Is that it?
Yeah.
What a disappointment. You broke my heart." It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see how he betrayed you.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the irony of the thing is you feel that he's betrayed you when in fact you have betrayed him because you haven't recognized him for who he is. You see, that's such a 21st century thought. Letting him be who he is. That is such a 21st. That's what I'm saying is you got to stay in 1970.
Yeah.
You've got to defend your position from 1970. That's all I'm saying. Okay, from that ignorant world that we all came up from. It's great. Which the Republicans call wokeness.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, like being considerate of other people is this horrible thing called wokeness.
They would no consideration if it bit him in the butt.
There you go, babe. There you go. All right. Okay. So that's what I want. You guys want to do one more lap on it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's see if we can do this and then we'll go on. Here we go.
And
Try
want
closing that. See, going with that feeling with your arms, Cindy, once you finally sit.
the what?
That feel, remember, don't forget to cross your arms after you sit. The first
Oh,
time.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and tie yourself into that. Okay.
Okay.
Anytime you're ready.
I just realized something. I have to keep it in my mind. Whatever happens here in this scene, it's in the morning.
Ah.
Why?
Why? Because it's not a good thing to have arguments and fights in the morning. It's really
I thought it was
annoying.
not a good thing to go to bed angry.
It's not good to be angry anytime. So, but
Oh no, hold for a second. No, it's not in the morning. I'm sorry. It's the
It's
other.
sometime in the afternoon, isn't it? Because they went out.
Right. Okay.
Right.
It was the other scene, the scene before. Okay.
the
Okay.
best time to write, if you're a writer, is the morning.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Because then what you're doing is you're waking up with a clean mind. You're waking up, your mind is until you start thinking about what your day is going to be, your mind is pretty clear. And so if you wake up in the morning and start writing right from that point, then the writing that you do from that point will make you feel better for the rest of the day because you've sort of written your scenario for the next day. It's the best time, especially if you're doing like a diary or notes and you're trying to work on something. Even Julia Cameron calls it morning pages, just because.
I know. I read that one.
Yeah, it's because that's when you're most vulnerable, is you're waking up in the morning and you don't have the whole day. If you write after a day's worth of shit, or you write after a full day's worth of activity, that's all you're going to do is bitch about what happened. But if you write in the morning about how you feel, then it's something that's been digested and slept on, and you're clear and you can actually learn more from yourself.
Yeah, except that, he talked about when he wrote the original script for Fugue in a Nursery, that David was not dead. But then his friend, who's also named Harvey, showed up on his doorstep almost beaten to death. And he wouldn't let him take him to the hospital. He wouldn't let him call the police. And when he put him to bed, he said, there was nobody I could talk to. It was 3 a.m, but there was my typewriter and there was a blank sheet of paper. And that's when he rewrote the whole beginning with Alan being dead and all the anger that went with it.
That's great. That's a great story. It's great that you read that, Cindy. It's terrific.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start it again. Here we go.
Round 2. Yahoo, Mrs. Bloom. It's safe to come out. David and Ed went for a walk and we've got the whole place to fight in.
Enjoy yourself. I'm going to bed.
I'm sorry, I lost my temper.
Ha! I'm glad you're sorry.
Please come out. We cannot talk like this.
You don't want to talk, you want to fight, but I don't fight with my children. In your life, did you ever hear your father and I fight? No. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Because all my childhood, I listened to fights. My father fought with my mother fought with my brother, my mother fought with me. When I married your father, I told him, Jack, I'll talk, but I won't fight. And did you ever hear us fight? No. And now you know why.
Want to sit down?
I'm sitting.
All right.
And don't holler at me. People say things they don't mean when they holler, and you've already said quite enough.
Cross your arms. Good. Keep going.
I won't holler. Just hit a raw nerve. We won't discuss Alan, only David.
So discuss.
Why don't you tell me what you already know and we will go on from there.
I don't know anything.
You spend the whole day with him. He must have said something.
Let me think. He's an orphan.
He's not an orphan.
He said he was an orphan.
Oh, he is not. He was a battered child that took him away from his parents. This is his third foster home. The first brought him back. The second he ran away from. So he's not.
No, he's a liar.
He's not a liar.
This isn't going to work.
Come on, we're finally getting somewhere.
Arnold, how do you expect me to sit here and discuss this insanity?
You're right. This is not going to work.
Arnold, what do you know from raising a child?
What's to know? Whenever I have a problem, I simply imagine how you would solve it, and I do the opposite.
Is this what you invited me up here for? To insult me and spit on your father's grave?
Will you please, for crying out?
Don't holler. I'm sitting. I don't know why, but I'm sitting.
All right. Now we're going to talk about David. Not Ellen, not Daddy, just David. And we're going to stay calm.
Ah,
I give up.
Arnold, darling, open your eyes. Don't you see how ridiculous this is? I've been here less than a day. Already I've seen you let him miss school, hang out on the street, go out without dinner.
It's typically not a typical day.
Do you want to talk or make excuses?
This isn't little Lord Fauntleroy we're talking about here. If this kid decided I was coming down too hard on him, he'd pack up and take off, and I'd never get him back again. And that sweet-looking little boy knows how to make more money in a night than you and I can make in a week.
So you let him run wild.
Oh, no. But I don't beat him up either. I teach him, I advise him, I set up an example for him.
Some example. Arnold, look, you live the life you want. I put my fist in my mouth. I don't say a word. This is what you want. But think about the boy. He likes you. He told me he loves you. He sees you living like this. Don't you think it's going to affect him?
Come on, David's gay.
But he's only been here 6 months.
He came that way.
No one comes that way.
Oh, what an opening.
Oh, by you, everything is a joke.
Don't you understand? The whole purpose of placing him here was for him to grow up with a positive attitude about his homosexuality.
That's it. I'm finished. The world has gone completely mad and I'm heading south for the summer.
You make it very difficult to have an intelligent conversation.
You want to have an intelligent conversation? Do what I do. Talk to yourself. It's the only way.
You think this is easy for me? Look, my hands are shaking. I've been like this for days. No one you'd be coming. We had to talk about this.
And because I'd show you how wrong you were.
No, I'm not wrong.
No?
No.
Tell me something. How old was your friend Alan when you met him?
17.
17. 17, and you were doing God knows what together. Now, tell me, how old is this son of yours?
I have no intention of sleeping with him. Is that what you're driving at?
Oh, well, I had no intention of having a homosexual for a son, so look where intentions get you. Arnold, do what you want. You want to live like this. Gay gesundheit hate. I don't care anymore. You're not going to make me sick like you did your father.
I made my father sick?
Oh, no. He was proud to have a fairy for a son. Took him 20 years of dreams and threw him back in his face.
What life of dreams? He knew I was gay for 14 years.
But you think you walk into a room and say, hey, Dad, I'm gay, and that's it? You think this is what we brought you into the world for? If I'd known, believe me, I wouldn't have bothered. Thought you'd tear out my tongue. I should talk to my child this way. Arnold, you're a good man, a kind man with a heart can of horror like your father. And I try to love you for that and forget this, but you won't let me. You got to pick me up and throw me down with my face in it. You haven't said one word since I've been here without the word gay in it.
Because that's what I am.
Well, if that were all, you could leave it in there where it belongs, in private. But no, you're obsessed by it. You're not happy unless everyone's talking about it. I don't know why you just don't wear a big sign and get it over with.
I don't know what to say to you. I really don't. I'm not trying to throw it in your face, but it is what I am. And it's not just a matter of who I sleep with. Mom, try to imagine the world the other way around. Imagine that every movie, book, magazine, TV show, newspaper, commercial, billboard told you that you should be homosexual, but you know you're not. And you know that for you, this is not.
Arnold, stop. You're talking crazy here.
You know what is crazy? That after all these fucking years, I'm still justifying my life. That's what is crazy.
You call this a life? This is a sickness. But this is what you've chosen for yourself.
Mom, look, I'm gay. I don't know why. I don't think anyone does, but that's what I am. For as far as back as I can remember, back before I knew it was different or wrong.
You haven't heard a word I've said.
I know you'd rather I was straight, but I'm not. Would you also rather I have lied to you? My friends all think I'm crazy for telling you that never dream of telling their parents instead of cut their parents out of lives, and the parents wonder, why my children are so distant? Is that what you'd rather?
But it doesn't have to be our every conversation either.
You want part of my life? I'm not going to edit out the things you don't like.
Can we end this conversation?
No, there is one more thing you've got to understand. You made fun of my crocheting before. You think it's a cute little feminine thing I do. So let me tell you something. I have taught myself to sew, to cook, fix plumbing, do taxes, build furniture, and I can even pat myself on the back if what necessary. Also, I don't have to ask anyone for anything. There is nothing I need from anyone except love and respect. And anyone who cannot give me those two things has no place in my life. You're my mother and I love you, I do, but if you cannot respect me, then you've got no business being here.
You're throwing me out.
Oh my God, what I'm trying to tell you.
No. Nice. Listen, mister, you get one mother in this world, just one. Wait, you just wait.
Nice, good work on the notes. Really good, both of you. And I tell you, that little thing works really well. It can work the second time you sit down too for you for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it does. It creates, if you can do a physicality that makes you feel a certain way, you ought to connect with that. If there's two ways into your soul, you can come from the inside out or you can come from the outside in. Both paths are wide open to you and you can use them in different situations. Cindy, the only note I got for you on this, which is so much better, it's just some of the best work you've done, is that hot you have in somewhere like a third way into the scene. You've got a hot.
I have two of them.
Well, I know, but this is about a third of the way into it.
The one goes, we're gonna stay calm, and I go, ha.
Yes.
The other
Yeah.
one at the beginning,
Yeah,
where, ha,
yeah.
I'm glad you're sorry.
Yeah, no, that first one was great because it was like, there was a fuck you in that, right? But I want you're so full of shit in the second ha.
Okay.
Oh,
Ha. You know, but I'm telling you, you can't figure out how to say it. You got to figure out what it's saying. And what it's saying is, you're so full of shit. Only the word that comes out is ha.
Ha.
And Vasily, the only thing I want you to think about between now and when you guys run this through one more time, not tonight, but the next time, is when you stop that last section, which you did so well, that no, I want to tell you, don't feel that you can be very calm. You don't have to necessarily over dramatize that. It's something that you have to say, that she has to know about you, and you're trying to hold on to it with that same, because you love her to death, with that same sort of love. Don't, change the dynamic a little bit. She says, the conference, no, I got to tell you this. In other words, I've already made it through the hard part. Don't hold on to the hard part. I want to see if you can create joy out of the things that you've done as opposed to drama. Make sense? Because it is. All those things are joyful for you. All those things are joyful for you. Terrific. Come on back, ladies. So do you two, you guys watched this for a while. Any comments that you guys have based on what you saw?
Well, I mean, I think it feels very real. I feel like you guys are perfect for these roles too. Like, it's good. And I also feel like you could probably take it even further. And I know it sounds like you guys have been working on it for a while, but I guess that's the cool part about, a piece that's written with so much juice, this is so juicy. You could probably just go even further. Like Cindy, your character is just so hateable, but so wow, you could be like the worst person on earth with her. And that's kind of fun, that's fun to act that, or play with that, because yeah.
But
Worst
again,
person on earth that loves her son.
what's that?
She's the worst person on earth that loves her son, but she doesn't love who he is.
Well, not at this point in the play.
Right.
Right.
Later.
She's transitioning, as it were.
Right.
to use the right word. She's transitioning, as it were. And that's the trap of the piece, is she can't come off like a villain. She has to come off like someone who doesn't understand what it is to be gay.
Yes. Like my dad, I will try to have educated conversations with him, and he just
Doesn't get it.
Doesn't get it.
nope. And it's like, he's not a bad person. He
No.
literally is just,
He can't see past that point.
nope. He
No.
lives way back in some other times, like some dream world where nobody but white men exist. It's just like, I don't know what's wrong, but he really,
Yeah.
he hasn't activated to the world.
Yeah, well, yeah, he hasn't. In other words, I think most people spend their lives trying to find a space and then keep themselves safe in that space. I think that's what most people try to do. And it's completely contrary to what existence is. If there's one thing that's clear to me about existence, is that it keeps changing with every second.
Mhm.
And so to try to use your energy to keep it the same is you're working against the process of life itself, because life itself does not stay the same. It changes momentarily. Right now, it's different because I said that, so I understand that. And actually that's where my parents came from, is, they had a way, and that they wanted to keep repeating that. That's where that's why we're going to have this civil war, whatever we're going to have.
We were just talking about
Oh my
that.
God, Bill, I just was saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know how it's going to manifest itself or what it's going to be, but but there's just, people just can't see it. They haven't progressed. They haven't moved along with the times. They've stayed back because it makes them feel safe. and it makes them feel good. It's the same reason why they worship Donald Trump, is because they're used to worshiping a God, one God who has all the answers. Well, God finally sent Donald Trump, and he has all the answers. You ask him, he knows everything.
Right.
You know, and it's because they're insecure that they have to believe in that one particular force, so they can't move forward. You know, and that's and you can't fault them for it, but you sure. It's just hard to believe that it happens. You know, it's just hard to believe that somebody didn't progress the way you moved along. And, you know, the whole thing when I was growing up was, it was all about getting a college education.
Yeah.
Right.
Me
And
too.
now that we all have college educations, we're the enemy because we're the elite and we're well educated. Right.
It's true.
Right. And when I grew up in junior high school, the greatest word in the world was liberal. John F. Kennedy was the first real liberal president. And I remember us talking about how great it was to be a liberal, right? Well, yeah, I mean, liberals great because liberals recognize the fact that everything changes every second, and you
Right.
have to change what you know based on what's happening around you. They have the security of education to know that they're safe if things change. But the others do not have that security because they don't have the education and the background to understand it. And you can't hate them for it, although you hate them for it. You
They
know?
use that word like it's a sin.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
say the word liberal. It's like the N word, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you told me to get a fucking education. I got a fucking master's degree, and now you think I don't know what I'm doing? You think I'm trying to hurt you because I know something more than you, and you're the one who told me to go anyway. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to college. Did you? That's the last place I wanted to go when I graduated from high school. I was the biggest pain in the ass in the world. I remember calling my parents up when it was my freshman year in college, and I said, I said, I'm quitting in January and I'm joining the Peace Corps. And that's all that's what's going to happen. I'm just through with this, you know. And
You actually do that?
I did. I didn't join the Peace Corps, but I threatened to. I was, yeah. And I basically, I wanted to get away from influence from the horrible pedophilia experience I was having still at that time. I mean, they had no idea where that was coming from. So anyway, all right. So moving along, nice work, you guys. It's really starting to click. All right. So let's go with Abigail. What are you going to work on tonight?
The same one, Alicia.
Okay.
The student film.
Is it the same scene that we did last week?
Yeah, and I'm pretty
Have you been
much
thinking
almost-
about it?
So I've been doing this self-tape challenge, self-tape May, where you pretty much do a self-tape of like different sides and auditions or whatever. So I taped myself doing a couple of the scenes for this film, and I watched the playback too from last week, and I saw what you were saying about like my eyes and like closing them and doing these self tapes. I just noticed like some really bad habits that I do, and I'm like, how do I get rid of them? Like I blink excessively. I feel like on all my self tapes and
don't worry
in my
about
forehead, like
don't worry about that. Don't
no,
worry about
the
blink.
forehead. You know how you say I should do gut to mouth,
Yep. Yep.
and like I still do it. I still do the forehead. Like I
Well,
still.
then that's good that you noticed that, and so I told you the 2 ways that you work on it, right?
Yeah, but I don't do that in real life because I've made myself like more aware of my, of
Good.
myself.
Good.
And I don't crinkle my forehead when I
Good.
talk.
Good. You just go gut.
So like, why am I doing it when I'm acting?
Well, yeah, you see, now that's really interesting because then it's sort of a move. You know how in the chapter I have movement protection, right? In other words, if I'm moving my brow, I feel like I'm acting. Right?
I noticed I was trying to run my play lines today, and I am always like this. And I have this tension that I hold in my forehead. So I let go of the forehead and I just had it in my eyes, and everything changed. My voice wasn't like lifted, it was just,
You
Yeah,
focused it
Abby,
on your
same thing.
eyes?
Yeah.
Well, I just let go of this and just left my eyes open, like let my eyes have energy instead of my forehead. Like,
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out because and then it doesn't help with wrinkles. And I'm like, oh, like by the time of the time, like I have all these, I don't want wrinkles.
No, but the answer is gut to mouth. That's all. And what you're doing, what you're seeing, and why you're noticing it in your acting is because you're putting something on. You feel like you're performing, like you're acting a character or something. And I mean, you could have a character that is this. Hey, Bob, how are you? I haven't seen you in like a week, Bob. But where you been? Huh? And if I was playing a crazy person, it might work really well that this was my expression, and that now I'm not really, I'm really not using it, but I sort of look a little crazy, don't I? I mean, I do look a little crazy, but I'm using that physicality to put me in a different space. So I'm speaking from that space. It's the same thing here. You just want to come right up from your gut, right out here. It doesn't involve any of this. The only time you need to involve this is, do you understand what I'm saying? That's old lines. Like, you get it?
Yeah.
Right? I can speak with my brow, but I don't need my brow to speak. Right? It gets in the way of film acting.
And it was distracting when
Yeah,
I
of
like
course,
watched these
Yeah.
or when I watch the playback and when I'm doing these self tapes.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh, that's like a bad habit. I need to.
Well, you need to work on it every day. Every time you work, that's what you want to work. You want to just think, okay, I'm going to go gut to mouth today. I'm
But
just
then
going to
I
go.
feel like that pulls me away if I'm focusing on that. It pulls me away from like being just like.
Well, I know it will pull you away a little while, Abigail, until, like I said with Vasily, until you've repeated it and realized it so many times that it becomes part of your process.
Okay.
That's unfortunately why you have to put up with me every 6 weeks, every now and then, is because I'm the one who can tell you you're focusing in the wrong place.
Okay.
Right. And it doesn't necessarily have to be from your gut through your mouth. It can be from your heart through your mouth. It can be from your throat to your mouth. It can be from your nether regions to, I mean, that's all right. But it all goes through the mouth. This isn't involved in it. It's not part of it.
Yeah. And it's
Okay.
not in my real life. It is not involved.
Good for you. Have people ever noticed a difference from the way you were before? Because you were a big brower before, weren't you?
Well, no, I never was.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I don't know why it shows up and it continues to show up.
I know why it shows up, Abigail. It shows up because it makes you feel like you're acting. Makes you feel like you're expressing yourself. You know how oftentimes you say, Bill, and all of you can back me up on this because I think all of you have said it to me. It feels like I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then you're on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it feels like you're really doing something, that's just going to exhaust you. I mean, the way you get Vasily's exhausted from doing that scene twice because it's an emotional journey, and he's so honest with that journey that it just fucking takes it right out of him, Absolutely. All right. So it's just something you have to keep working on. And the fact that you're conscious of it is step one. I am conscious of the fact that I'm still doing this. All right. So now I'm going to work a little bit harder every day in my life to make sure that this is happening. And then when I go to work on something, I'm just going to say to myself, I'm not going to concentrate on it, but I am going to talk to myself. And I'm saying I'm going just from my heart to my mouth or my gut to my mouth or whatever it is.
And not blink so much.
No, don't think what not to do.
Okay. Keep my eyes open.
Yeah. In other words, I'm going to keep my eyes open because I'm not going to miss a thing. I'm not going to miss a thing. I'm not going to miss that. So that's a positive reason. It's if you think negative, it's just going to fuck you up. If you want to stop from doing something, you have to come up with a proactive thing that you are going to do, not what you're going to not do. Right? This is classic. Right now, don't think of pink elephants. Right? It's the first thing you think of. Even though I said don't,
Yeah.
It's the first thing you think of. You see, the negative doesn't get it. If I don't want you to think of pink elephants, I won't say don't think of pink elephants. I'll say think of grasshoppers. And you're not thinking about pink elephants, right? Well, the grasshopper really represents the character you're playing. Think of the character, okay, and what that character wants and how much that character can't miss what they're doing. Okay, well, enough of the theory,
Okay.
but let's start to play with it. I'm glad you're noticing this. That's a very good thing. Okay,
Mhm.
all right. So,
Do you have
Jillian,
it, Jillian? Okay.
Yeah, would it, is it distracting if I read the stage, or not the stage directions, whatever?
yeah, I think it's nice if you do that. I think it
Okay.
helps. I think it helps Abigail, and it also helps me too a little bit.
Okay,
Because
okay,
like we talk about so much, those silent moments, those moments of action when you're not speaking are the real great opportunities in film. So, all right, here we go.
okay. Kyle drives his car down a rural road. We hear them flip through radio stations, skipping a news station talking about disappearances. Kyle drinks whiskey from a bag. He turns off the radio.
Do you mind?
What? I can't have some fun before leaving?
This is for you. I'm trying to help you,
I didn't ask for help.
but you need it. We need it.
They pass a payphone on the left. What the? Didn't they stop using those things in like 1980?
I don't know.
Fine. If you don't want me to drink it, I won't. He throws the bottle out the window, missing the payphone and smashing it on the road.
Jesus, Kyle. What the hell?
Just doing what you asked. Kyle looks at his phone but doesn't pick it up. I feel like a snack.
We don't have time. We're already running late.
It'll be fine. I promise. It won't take long.
Duh. Your sister was right about you.
Kyle looks at her for a moment. After a while, he pulls into a rustic service station. Watch the car. Kyle exits the car. The time is 11:50. He locks the doors and walks to the entrance of the service station. He tries the door, but it's locked. Annoyed, he turns to Alicia and signals that he's going around back. Alicia looks, closes her eyes to control her emotions, and reopens them. She softly hums and takes out her makeup bag, removes her mirror, and begins putting on makeup.
Sorry, I think it's a little distracting for me with all the directions. I think it takes me out of the character a bit.
Okay,
Okay.
So can we start over?
sure.
I
Yeah.
just felt very disconnected.
Yep.
Okay, good. Here we go. Sister was right. Slip. You know, your sister was right when you say that. Your sister was right. It has to do with it's an emotional slip up. You're really
Yeah.
yeah, right. You normally wouldn't say that if you were thinking, but what you're doing so well is you're containing your emotion inside of you. Your anger is deep inside of you. It deals with a lifetime of a long time of frustrations with him. So
I'm sorry, you broke up for a second. The last thing.
what I'm saying is that you've got a significant amount of time and frustration with this boyfriend of yours, and you've allowed that to build up. And so when you find out your sister was fucking right, you know, I mean, that just comes out because of all of this that you've built up so nicely. Also, you say, don't you at one point say, I'm going to close the direction says she closes her eyes and then she reopens them, right? Okay, and it's like in the closing your eyes, it's not it's like, oh my fucking word, what the fuck am I gonna do? And then while your eyes are closed, you may, okay,
It says I close my eyes to contain my emotions.
that's great. So what I want you to do then is to actually have some containment inner dialogue going on, so that but it comes to a resolution because then you open your eyes and you decide, okay, all right, I'll just get busy and I'll start doing
I'm
my
like
next.
trying to calm myself.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
And another thing, realize that you can, one of the things that we always do when we're with somebody we're not particularly happy with in a car is we look out the window a lot. You know, in other words, so realize maybe you can use that window to your right a lot right there, right? And then you watch him and then you watch him play with the radio. Where would the radio be? Yeah, it's down a little bit down there, right? Maybe a little lower. Yeah, it's good. I like it a little lower, right? And then if you were going to look at him over in the driver's seat, where would that would be right there. So you see, you've got some range in there that gives you some things to deal with. Okay. All right, let's try it without the stage directions. Okay, here we go.
Do you mind?
What? I can't have some fun before leaving?
This is for you. I'm trying to help you,
I didn't ask for help.
but you need it. We need it.
What the? Didn't they stop using those things in like 1980?
I don't know.
Fine, if you don't want me to drink, I won't.
Jesus, Kyle, what the hell?
Just doing what you asked. I feel like a snack.
We don't have time. We're already running late.
It'll be fine, I promise. It won't take long.
Your sister was right about you.
Watch the car.
Okay.
That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you have that moment, where you actually, sorry.
I was just very conscious of what I was doing.
I know, that's okay. That's why we're rehearsing, you know, it's not gonna be, it's not gonna be. So when you finally close your eyes and then you go, pull that thing down from upstairs in that mirror and then get your makeup out and start.
Okay.
Right. So again, what you're doing is what you did this last time through was you created the reality of where you were really well. That worked really well, Abigail. You know, even though you were conscious, I think what you were conscious of was holding on to the energy that you're holding on to. That's good. And that's okay to be conscious of that. It's like, okay, I'm going to try not to lose my temper because if I lose my temper, I know this asshole's going to lose his temper back. So even though you're fucking raging inside about how he's not appreciating you and not really giving you credit for all the good things that you're doing for him, you're holding that inside and you're doing a really good job of that. It's working.
Okay, I felt like I was conscious, like I'm watching myself. Like,
yeah. You mean, well,
like
then what you have to do is
judging myself.
Oh, well, that's bad. So
Yeah, I know.
So
I'm not fully.
All right. So here we go. So what's happening to your character emotionally that they have no control over?
I am just frustrated with him.
Okay, and
I'm like fed up with this, and I'm like tired of him always messing everything up.
Great, and also here's something else I want you to add to that is you're a little afraid of him. Just a little bit afraid of him, what he might do. Because he's acting very irresponsibly, as most alcoholics do. But there would be fear, and again, we talked about this before, there would be fear just the fear of you being in the car, wanting him to stop the car. You wanted him to get there. I want him to get there as soon as possible so I can get out of this fucking car and drive home by myself. If you really want to go on a basic level there, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's what's happening. So I want you to put a little more fear in it as well. Okay, that's what's happening to me. And the only way I'm ever going to get through this is if I get him to that place and get him into rehab. That's the only way this is going to go away. So when you say, no, we don't have time, in other words, you're looking at that watch. You don't want to be late for the appointment. If there's a clock in the car, you can look at the clock in the car. If there's a clock on your cell phone, you can look, but you have to make the time thing real for yourself, because it's all about time. That's the only way you're going to feel better, right? What's happening to me emotionally that I have no control over is that I'm afraid, I'm frustrated, I'm worried. I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm confused as to what my role is, but I do know one thing. The only way I'm going to survive this is to get him off of the road into rehab so I don't have to deal with it anymore. That's simple as it is. I got to get this over with. So if he says, I want to stop, that's not a good idea. If he says, you wait in the car, that's not a good idea, because it doesn't get you to the next point. Does that make sense? That's something you can really play. The only way I can survive this is to get there. What's happening to me emotionally that I have no control over is that I'm frustrated, I'm fearful, I'm worried, I'm confused. And the only way that it's going to go away is when I get him there. That's all you got to think about. Keep yourself busy with that. Okay, here we go.
Oh, 1 second. I'm sorry. Okay.
Do you mind?
What? I can't have some fun before leaving?
I'm trying to help you.
I didn't ask for help.
But you need it. We need it.
What the? Didn't they stop using those things in like 1980?
I don't know.
Yeah, fine. If you don't want me to drink, I won't.
Jesus, Kyle. What the hell?
I'm just doing what you asked. I feel like a snack.
We don't have time. We're already running late.
It'll be fine. God, I promise it won't take long.
And your sister was right about you.
Watch the car.
Good, Abigail. Good, 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 good. Specific, much more specific that time. Did you feel different?
Yeah, I did. I felt a difference.
Right? You got to hang on to that fear and try to get it over with as soon as you possibly can. Like that, you say to him, what's the line you say to him after we don't have time? And what does he say back to you?
We don't have, oh, watch the car?
Huh?
It'll be fine. I promise it won't take long.
It'll be fine. I promise it won't take long or something.
Yeah, and then what do you say back to him?
God, your sister was right about you.
Good. Do those 4 lines right there, the setup and that action. I'm going to show you something. Okay, here we go.
I feel like a snack.
We don't have time. We're already running late.
It'll be fine. I promise it won't take long.
God, your sister was right about you.
Watch the car.
Good. And now that should be like, watch the car. Where the fuck are you going? What the fuck is going on? It's like, so realize that the car is slowing down. It's like, that's not getting me where to any relief. That's not going to get me over this. And so that, where the fuck are you going? But that's got to be played internally. Again, your solution, your relief is getting there. That's what you have to focus on, Abigail. That's your survival. That's the positive survival. I got to get there. I got to say whatever I got to say to get there as soon as I can, because I can't get over this fear any other way. One more time. All right, here we go. One more time. Don't think it through. You're just fucking scared. You're worried. You're nervous. I got to fucking get there.
I feel like a snack.
We don't have time. We're already running late.
It'll be fine. I mean, I promise it won't take long.
God.
Good. So I just want to say to you, right, is I want a snack. The answer is not trying to, we don't have time. I mean, that's you. You're the one who got him in the car to begin with, right? You're the one who's done it. So say it back with, we don't have time, like you're in charge. Not like, oh, everything you're going to, we don't have time. Oh, please, not. No, we don't have time. Go. What are you doing? Oh, Jesus Christ, your sister was right. Gee, you know, it's like, fuck. Okay, here we go.
I feel like a snack.
We don't have time. We're already running late.
It'll be fine. I promise it won't take long.
Your sister was right about you.
Just watch the car.
Great job, Abigail. So much better. Didn't it feel better? It's like we
I
don't
was
have.
more angry, or I felt more.
No, you're trying to regain control of a situation that
Yeah,
you've
I
lost
felt
control.
like stronger.
Thank you. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Regain control if you can. We don't have time. That's my order. I'm not worried about, yes, we have an appointment. We don't have time. That's a solution for you, totally for you. This whole scene, it should be for you. I want to get there as soon as I can, period.
Mhm.
All about me. It's all about me. And every time you do something that slows me down, I get more confused and I got to do something. I got to work on my makeup, whatever that is, right? And it's also you got that great moment, which you played so well this time, was when he said, stay in the car, and you looked that way and you went, and when you came back, you went right into the eye close. But if you look there and you come back and you go, in other words, that moment of your open eyes that motivates the shut of the eyes is going to be, yeah, right. It's just, yeah. And what you're really saying is that son of a bitch, I'm never going to get there. And then yes, exactly. You see how it's all about you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
That was really good work, Abigail.
Okay. Thank you.
Because you were focusing on everything but your lines. You were focusing on what you needed to do to get out of the dilemma that you were in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, and
Now,
when that happens, I think I lose my lines, and I think I lost some of my lines.
don't worry, you're shooting a film. They'll shoot it again. I guarantee if you get your lines wrong, they'll shoot it again.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you get your lines wrong and they went, God, that was so much better than what I wrote. Let's just keep that.
Yeah.
So is there another scene that we're working on?
Yeah, there was when I go inside the car. I mean the gas
garage?
station looking for him.
Okay,
When
let's
you
do
get
that scene.
murdered.
Yeah, and I get killed.
Oh.
Or soon. No, not yet. I get killed in the forest.
Mhm. Well,
Oh, I thought
I
he
wonder
just
if we're gonna be in the
bashed you.
forest. Like, did they do the makeup for you? Like, I wonder.
No,
sure.
he freaking takes a knife out and knights you at this part.
Oh my god!
Hands up
And
and
I
look
am
at
like the worst. I don't even watch thrillers, and I feel like I always end up shooting thrillers.
He knifes you right here in this scene.
He don't. No, he doesn't.
No, the forest is, you're like a ghost. He's like seeing you.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No. Oh, so then Kyle's dead too, and when we're hugging, we're spirits?
No, Kyle's alive. He's just like hallucinating seeing you in the forest.
Really?
I swear.
No.
Yeah, because you like
No?
appear.
Well,
Because
I wish I could have.
makeup bag. He has your bloody makeup bag. He shows, Kyle sees your bloody makeup bag, so he knows you're dead.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's hurt me. He's like, stabbed me and whatever, but I don't think I'm dead yet. He's like torturing me. Or he
Well-
has tortured me and like pulled, has pieces of my hair and stuff. But then I end up in the forest, and then Kyle taps my shoulder, and then we like have this moment, and then I'm just like crying, and then we hug, and then I tell him that he's here, and I say, go, like run. And then so he runs, and then they hear
Right,
shots.
but it says a gunshot rings out through the forest. Kyle looks where it came from. He looks back for Alicia. She's gone.
Like,
She was
yeah,
just
like
like
I
a
think I was gone
image.
because I was standing, and then I was probably shot on the ground. Well, that's what I.
Well, this is an important moment in the movie, so both of you ought to call the film director and find out what the truth
I mean,
of it
yeah,
is.
if I'm like dead already and
But it doesn't show you dying right here. It just shows him pulling out the knife and then the title card comes on. So it's like basic horror movie. I always play the girl who gets killed in the opening credits. I'm like kind of excited I get to run this motherfucker over.
Well,
yeah,
you should be complimented because the girl who gets shot in the opening credits is always the best looking girl.
Yeah, that's right.
She usually has the best breasts as well. Okay, all right. If it's any good at watch any horror movie. I'm telling you.
I don't
know.
like horror movies.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Don't watch them.
Yeah,
I'm terrified.
yeah. They don't do anything. I don't like to be scared.
Yeah, I don't like to be scared.
And besides, I'm not worried about it anyway because I know it's just special effects. It doesn't bother me.
No, I get like nightmares. I can't.
I went and saw on 42nd Street before Rudy Giuliani ruined 42nd Street and made it Disney World. There were all these great old theaters on 42nd Street, and I used to go there to watch movies because the audience would talk back to the screen. Because they would go, I would like watch Fright Night there, and the guy would be going and they go, don't go in there, don't do, they would just, and it made the scary movie funny, and I would go see scary movies at the 42nd Street theaters so that I would listen to the
Everyone's
audience.
commentary.
Oh yeah, and I saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure there, and then when Pee-wee they went, oh, why they got to do that to him? People talked all the time, which made horror films more enjoyable for me anyway. All right, so do you want to wait and find out whether you're really dead or alive, or should we just run?
No, I'm still alive in this scene.
All right, well, let's run it and see where we are. All right.
I'm looking for my boyfriend.
All right, but I want you to clear up this other thing as soon as you can because it's probably a big point.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, here we go.
So I'm looking for him.
In the car? You're still in the car?
Oh yeah, I'm still in the car. And then I put the makeup away.
All right.
So I'm.
Hey, listen, even though it's going to be distracting, I want Jillian to read the stage directions so I can hear it this time and then we'll do it. All right?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. Alicia puts away her makeup and notices the time. It's 12 o'clock. She begrudgingly unlocks and opens the door. She walks around the store to the backyard. She surveys the scene, noticing the music as well. She walks to the middle of the yard when the man appears behind her.
Sorry. So let me play that part. Get it.
Can I help you?
Hi. Do you know where my boyfriend went? He came around here a few minutes ago.
Sorry, ma'am. You're the first person I've seen all day.
That couldn't have been more than 10 minutes ago. I don't know where you were, but he definitely came here.
Sorry, but no one comes by.
Okay, and then
She
I call.
looked at, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
She
Yeah.
looked at him hesitantly for a moment, then walks back toward the car and takes out her phone. She quickly calls someone. It goes to voicemail.
Hello? Shit. Anna, something happened. Me and Kyle were driving to Lancaster and we stopped off at a service station and he's gone. Like, I saw him go inside and there's this weird guy.
From behind her, we see the man slowly walk to her. He takes a knife from a knife holder on his leg and clenches it in his hand. She turns around, noticing the man. She hangs up and looks at him, fear overcoming her. We cut back to the boombox as it continues to play. Title card.
Sure feels like he's gonna kill you there.
Yeah, or he
Doesn't
ties
it?
me up and takes me to the forest.
Yeah, that's good. You know, one of the great things about this scene is you get to see another side of the character. You get to see a kind of side of the character that's actually charming and sweet and somebody that you'd want to go out with. You know, because you went, oh, hi, hi, oh, and you were kind of charming, you know, with him, you know, like, oh, did you see my boyfriend? You know, it's like, wow, you know, that's another side of that character I've never really gotten to see. You know, you're just usually so pissed off, but yeah, right. And then he says, no, you're wrong. You know, he must have, I know you saw him. And then he says that other weird thing. And then you go, you know, and then you've really set yourself up for the follow through of that. That's really, and realize that even though you're a little scared on the inside and you feel that fear, that you've got to hide it on the outside while you're facing him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what works so well about that. And then once you get your thing and you go back and you make the phone call, I want you to do it since it's on film. I want you to do it. Johnny, you there? Listen, I got to tell you something. Something really happened the other day and it's really crazy. And he's crazy and I don't know what to do. Not, oh my God, John, something's, you know, I don't want you, you know, I want you to be really just sort of almost, you know, just get the facts out, get and make them know by the tone of your voice that this is really important and something dangerous is going on.
Okay.
Okay, try the phone call right now for me, right now. Go.
Hello? Shit. Anna.
Good. And that shit is shit. I mean, because this is really important. So that shit is about you. And then you find it and it's like, oh, fuck, Anna. Oh, God. Oh, Anna, you got to know this. Right. So that shit
And I'm like,
is what.
shit, because it's like going to voicemail.
Yes,
and I wanted to
yes.
talk to her.
And then you try it again and bingo. And
Hello? Shit. Hey, Anna, it's line. Hey,
Something
Anna,
happened. Oh,
something happened. Me and Kyle were driving to Lancaster and
okay, good. Now, hey, Anna, something really fucked up happened. That's what I want to hear this fucked up. I want to hear something really fucked up happen. And go.
Hello? Shit. Hey, Anna, something really fucked up just happened.
Good. Now tell me what. Go.
Me and Kyle were driving to
Now,
Lancaster.
and make this, me and Kyle were driving. Now, you see, you want to keep the story clear, but you want to keep the story moving. No, you don't want it to get emotional. The character's trying to make sure that she's communicating something that is sort of an alarm, and she's ringing an alarm, and you want to make sure you're clear on it. And go.
Hello? Shit. Anna, me and Kyle were driving to Lancaster and
Yeah, it doesn't sound dirty enough. Doesn't sound bad. Me and Kyle. Holy shit. And Anna, go.
Anna, something happened. me and Kyle were driving to a service station, and no, me and Kyle were driving to Lancaster, and we stopped off at a service station, and he's gone. Like, I saw him go inside, and there's this weird guy, and
Bingo. Good, 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 good. So much better, Abigail. Now, what I want you to do is to do that phone call one more time, and I want you to think going from the mouth, your mouth, to the mouthpiece of the phone. All right, that's all you're gonna do. You're gonna know. I'm gonna know how dangerous this is because it's just going from your mouth to the mouthpiece of the phone. And go. It's really fucking dangerous. Go.
hello? Shit. Anna, something happened. Me and Kyle were driving to Lancaster, and we stopped off at a service station, and he's gone. Like, I saw him go inside, and there's this weird guy.
Bingo. I can't wait for you to see that on the playback. That's exactly right. That's exactly the right point of view. Absolutely. It just shows, and it's just right from your voice mouth, right from your voice box into that voice box of the phone, conveying all the danger and the urgency that you need to convey right there. Really good.
Okay.
And the beginning part of that scene is just awesome, you know, because I get to see a side of the character that I never saw before. You play that beautifully.
Okay.
All right. Nice work, Abigail. Good.
Thank you. Okay.
Did that feel better?
Hmm.
Were you lost? Were you more lost? That's all I want to make sure of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now this phone call is even more important because something is, I mean, if your boyfriend just disappeared and there's no thing, and then you met this really weird guy and he never says that he never saw him, I don't know. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that you're in some deep shit here.
Yeah.
And you need some help, and you've got to be very clear and very direct when you're talking to him. Okay, nice work. You'll see
When
it
I'm
on
talking to Anna?
yeah, when you're talking to
Okay.
Anna. Yeah, Anna's your, you know, now it doesn't have anything to do with getting to the rehab place. It has to do with there's a murderer near me. There's something really fucked up going on, and I'm scared shitless.
Yeah, and I just don't understand why I would call her though. Like, why wouldn't I call but I have to figure that out.
Well, you know, who is Anna to you in the movie?
She's like my sister-in-law, or my boyfriend's sister.
She's your boyfriend's sister.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that's why you called her. Is you must be close to her. You must like her.
Well, it says we haven't talked in a long time.
But you must like her. You must know what she's had to put up with.
Yeah.
The two of you have her brother in common.
Yeah.
So what I mean, that's why you need to talk to her. And that's why the first call was to her, is because it was her brother.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Okay, Jillian, what are we going to do with you?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, I just wanted to say too, I feel like with the phone call, the third time, the last time you did it, the hello was different. The hello was more urgent. And then it set you up for the whole time, because sometimes it was like, hello?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, now I got to get serious. But that time you were like, hello? Shit. And then you just went, and it like that hello kind of set you up to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You'll see it on the playback. You'll actually like a piece of work that you've done.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
I love you.
Thank you.
You're sweet. All right. So what are we going to work on with you, Jillian?
All right. I'm on page 12. So mine is pretty short, but it's going to be that scene at the service station. And what I know now, because I did do a lot more preparation, is that, so she gets this voicemail that's like super sketchy. It sounds like something's wrong. And then when she's driving there, she hears on the radio, she's like has the radio on, and it talks about there's like disappearances. It says she's driving, music's playing, her eyes are locked on the road, unwavering. A small community in Ohio is worried after multiple disappearances happened around the expansive forest, dubbed Shorties, so
Wow, they're just like, he's just setting you all up. He's just hyper activating your fear that you already have.
yes, and then it says she clenches her jaw and continues driving. So then she gets to the service station.
Yeah.
So instead of like, oh, my dumbass brother fucked up and tried to run away from rehab, have you seen him? Like,
Yeah.
and I know you've seen him, it's like,
Yeah, it's a mystery. And
where's
you're
my brother?
worried
Yeah,
every,
okay.
you're
Yeah,
worried every move, right, Jillian?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. That sounds good. So this is just pure fear. And the only thing that's going to get you through the pure fear is knowing something more than you know. That's the only thing. Otherwise, you're fucked, right? I got to find out more. So that's, and you're afraid to take that action, but you have to take that action because being in this state of worry and fear and confusion and doubt is no place to remain. You have to do something because it could affect your brother's life too. It's not only you, but it's your brother's life.
Yeah, I think what's the word that's coming to mind for me is panic.
Okay.
Like he is panicked right now.
Okay, good, good. Let's play that, see what happens.
Okay.
The service station on page 13. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm gonna say that hello.
Okay.
So try the door. Okay. Hello.
Yes.
I don't mean to bother you.
Can I help you?
Oh, I think my brother came around here. Have you seen him? He's like 6 foot, black hair, slenderish build. His girlfriend said that they stopped here. Dark hair, smaller. They disappeared.
I'm sorry. I don't recall anyone like that stopping by.
Are you sure? I mean, she said, I'm pretty sure it was here.
There are many stores around here. I'm sorry I couldn't have been of service. Have a pleasant day. Anna, dismayed, exits the station and goes back to her car. She looks ahead for the moment and then rests her head on the steering wheel. A knock on the glass startles her. Is there a number I may call?
Number?
In case I see Kyle. Is there someone I should call?
Oh, sure. Yeah. My number is 330-465-57.
Her voice trails off as the realization overcomes her. The killer becomes tense. She looks at him, fear in her eyes.
Okay, great. So here's the decision you have to make as the actress, because it's going to bleed into either scene is are you suspicious of this guy when you first see him? Or are you not suspicious of him until he says your brother's name? Because that's two different things, I mean, because to me, if you are suspicious of this guy from the beginning, then I don't think you would ever give him your phone number. I don't even think you would ever start to give him your phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but what I do love about your point of view on this is the panic. But let's try the panic without the fear of the suspicion.
okay.
Right? It's
Yeah.
like, I know my sister talked to you and there you are again, because the sister said that there was this really weird guy there, right? That's part of the phone call, right? Right?
Yeah.
So you accept the fact that he's going to be weird, but you don't think it's him yet. But you're in a panic, so you need this information as quick as possible. And it's like when you get back to that car alone, it's like, fuck, this wasn't it. Where the fuck do I go now? And then what do I do now? What's going to happen now? And you're doing that on the edge of the steering wheel with your eyes open. Don't close your eyes. You came back and you went like this. I want you at that steering wheel and I want you like really intense, like really thinking, what the fuck am I? No, no, Jesus Christ, there it is. And then it's like this guy again. Okay, all right, okay. I don't think you're suspicious until, and then all of a sudden it all just comes together on that one moment.
Yes.
I
Okay.
just think that that's more dramatically exciting, and it doesn't make sense that if you thought it was this gas station guy, you would never, you would have gotten in the car and pulled out of there and gone to the police station,
Yeah.
because you would have been confirmed that the guy is weird. My brother's missing. My brother's girlfriend is missing. This guy says he never saw anything, but I think this guy's involved with it. You know, I mean, all of those things would happen, but they don't happen. What happens is you're panicked and you run, and through your panic of trying to find the information, you don't see what's really in front of you.
Okay. Okay. Because I'm kind of hesitating with going with that because I feel like Anna is very smart,
Yes.
and resourceful.
Yes.
And this guy, the actor, is fucking creepy. And so I'm like, I mean, and I thought, and so he says, I don't mean to bother you, she says, and then he goes, can I help you? He slowly turns and faces Anna. He says, can I help you? And she says, oh. And then she says, I think my brother came around here. So it's almost like she's maybe like a little, I don't know if she was offset, like, oh, he's not friendly.
He's scary. Is
She
his
can be a
voice
little
too.
jumpy. She can be a little jumpy. That's okay. She's a little, a little hyper reactive, but I mean, you tell me, Jillian.
Well, I feel like she's trying to kind of figure him out. Like even maybe when she's describing them, she's like kind of observing like how he's taking this, and she's kind of trying to figure it out. And then when she goes back, because I think that the other thing is throughout the whole movie, I keep wanting to say play, her instincts are very strong. Like she has this strong instinct that something's wrong. And then I think she has maybe an instinct about this guy, but then he comes back, and when he comes to the car, she gets this hope, like, oh yeah, like you want to call my number? Okay, you're good. Like,
well, if he wasn't on my side, why would he come back?
Yeah. And then it's like, oh my God, okay, you're trying to help. Okay, great. And then she's like, you said Kyle.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh,
that just stops you.
Realization.
That
like,
takes,
oh,
right. That's great. That's
Okay.
great. Okay. Good. Let's give it a try. Here we go.
All right. Hello?
Yes.
I don't mean to bother you.
Can I help you?
Oh, I think my brother came around here. Have you seen him? He's about 6 foot, black hair, slenderish build. His girlfriend said they came here. Dark hair, smaller. They disappeared.
I'm sorry. I don't recall anyone like that stopping by.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure they said it was here.
There are many stores around here. I'm sorry I couldn't have been of service. Have a pleasant day. Is there a number I may call?
Number?
In case I see Kyle, is there someone I should call?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, my number is 330-465-57.
Good, Jillian. Good. Did that feel comfortable?
Yeah, I wish I had that fucking line, because that's going to be fun. That's where like she's in control, because she's questioning him about, have you seen them? Like, kind of, what are you? Are you, he's 6 foot.
And that's great, because that O is when he turns around and he looks, when that O, I think, is like, oh fuck, you could be the guy. because
Yeah.
you said he looks fucking creepy, and your potential sister-in-law told you he looks fucking creepy, and so that you have to then push through that to try not to give up what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that make sense? That I think that's really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you work with him already, the actor? Did you
No,
work?
but we did that read through and I was like, oh,
Yeah, he's very scared. His voice is very
yeah, he's scary.
scary.
That's good. Want to try
Yeah.
it one more time? Here we go.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Here we go.
And I'm gonna go off book and I'm gonna fuck everything up, but Abby,
love
you
that. I
can
love
just
that.
bring me back on.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll do another take just for you. Okay, here we go.
Hello?
Yes.
I don't mean to bother you.
Can I help you?
Oh. I
Good,
think that
good.
my
Let's go
brother-
back. Let's go back. Now he has his back to you, right?
Yeah.
So this could be anybody. So let's. And until he turns around, I don't want it to go to the next level yet. I want you to think like, I'm in a hurry. Can you tell me this quickly? And then he turns around, and then here we go.
He turns around.
turn
and says,
around.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I turn
Yeah,
around.
okay,
and
good.
then-
Well, that's when you should really start to internalize any fear that you have there.
Okay.
All right, here we go. And
Hello?
Yes.
I don't mean to bother you.
Can I help you?
Oh, I think my brother came around here. Have you seen him? He's 6 foot, black hair, slenderish build. He was with his girlfriend. She's dark hair, smaller. They said they came here, but
I'm sorry. I don't recall anyone like that stopping by.
are you sure? I mean, I'm pretty sure it was here.
There are many stores around here. I'm sorry I couldn't have been of service. Have a pleasant day.
yeah, you're thinking on that steering wheel. Was that really the guy? Was that the guy? What the fuck should I do? It could have been the guy. What the fuck? Was it him? What should I do next? Was it the
Is there a number I may call?
Number?
In case I see Kyle. Is there someone I should call?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, my number is 330-465-57.
Jillian, that was the best. That was best. I love that. I love that. You'll watch it on the last, watch when you see the playback, watch the tape.
All right, cool.
Because gives you 3 different movements in the piece. The
Yeah.
very first connection movement when you see him, what it makes you feel like emotionally after you do see him. And then you go in the car and you're trying to decide, is it him? Is it not him? Do I call the police? I'm a little worried. And then bang, that thing scares the shit out of you. Does it say she rolls the window down? Because I see you rolling the window down.
Yes.
She does. God,
Yes, she rolls her window down.
I just got to tell you, she's not that bright. So,
Do though, you know, like what do
Yeah.
you do?
well, I mean, you talk through the window and you make sure it's fucking locked. You know, if you've got any brains at all, if that's where you are halfway between, was that him or wasn't that him?
No, we're tiny though. Us little girls, we can just jump to the other side, you know.
Oh yeah. I've seen the commercial too. You know that there's some commercial out there, and then they pretend there's a horror movie and it's a chainsaw movie, and all they're scared. And the little blonde goes, "Let's go behind and hide behind the chainsaws," and everybody goes, "Oh yeah, good idea," and they go running.
I
You're-
never roll down my window.
But I mean, that's the way he wrote it. Then she writes it down. But again, that has to do with the fact that you've got to make that decision to roll that down.
Yes.
And I think it's a big decision. I think it's a
Yes.
bigger. Okay.
Yes. Good call. Yeah. 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 for
Good,
sure.
good work, Jillian. Good
Okay.
work.
Thank
That
you, Bill.
Come on back,
person
everybody.
Says,
What?
it's after that person says, why don't we get in the running car?
Yeah. Yeah, you remember that commercial?
Yes.
Cindy does, right? Have
I
you seen
sure
it,
do.
Abby?
No.
Yeah. Oh God, it's hysterical. I forget what it's for. Is it?
Ridiculous. Why do they all run up the stairs
Yeah.
or
Oh,
run into the house?
it's one of my
Oh.
favorite commercials in the whole world, and the girl does it. The little blonde does it so well. She just,
Uh-huh.
oh my God, crazy.
What is
Oh.
it? You don't know who the company is?
The
Don't remember
commercial's
what
so
it's
good, I don't know what the product is. Right? That's the catch with these tricky little commercials they create today. You get so involved in the commercial, and if it doesn't really modify the product very well, you just enjoy it, but you don't know what the fuck you just saw. Okay, so Cindy, do you want to do this? Do your piece?
Sure.
Okay, and then we'll close her out.
Okay. When Billy and I were married, we fought all the time. I can almost see Billy again.
Okay, so just answer this question for me, and just answer it like I'm really asking it, and answer it with the monologue. Okay. All right. What's your first line again?
When Billy and I were married, we
Oh,
fought.
okay.
all the time.
Okay. Good. All right. Good. All right. So Billy's been gone a while, but what was it like in the beginning?
Oh, when Billy and I were married, we fought all the time. I can almost see Billy again. At least I can see his eyes, I can see his hands and his teeth. He has,
Now to me, Cindy, that seems like you're saying those lines, but you're not seeing his eyes and his teeth first. You're not allowing the image to lead you. You're allowing the dialogue to lead you.
okay.
All right. Remember, image comes before dialogue.
Okay.
And that was absolutely great. So what was it like before the war?
When Billy and I were first married, we fought all the time. I can almost see Billy again. At least I can see his eyes, I can see his hands, and his teeth. Oh, he had perfect teeth, not like mine. That's something else we fought about. But the rest of the picture is in shadow. Listen, if they want to make
Good. Now, so right there, but the rest of the picture was in shadow, and you're right, halfway between crying and exposing something, and so that you've got to take that moment and laugh through it, and if they want to. So it's a diversion. In other words, I want you to feel like you're right on the edge of breaking down, and then you cover it with this joke, with this, and it is a joke. If they wanted to, it's a cover. It's a protection. All right. Good start. So what was it like before Billy left for the war?
Oh, when Billy and I were first married, we fought all the time. I can almost see Billy again. At least I can see his eyes. And I can see his hands and his teeth. Oh, he has perfect teeth, not like mine. That's something else we fought about. But the rest of the picture, it's in shadow. Listen, if they want to make the Hollywood blockbuster of all time, one of those stories of tragic romance, sure to have every woman in the theater reaching for a hanky, they should tell the story of a woman whose husband goes away. But
It's just a joke. They should tell, this is great. This is going to be great. They should tell what? Go. This is going to be great. They should tell the story. This is going to be great. Go.
They should tell the story of a woman whose husband goes away, but he goes away one piece at a time. First an arm vanishes, and then a leg, and then his eyes and his hands and his teeth, and finally she can't remember what he looked like at all. That's what hurts. That's what's peculiar. Losing him a little at a time.
Good. So great, Cindy. So when you run out of story, now you're exposed. Once you got no more words for the story, right? When the story is over, you've got to hold on to that and realize the story's over. And then you got to say it from that point. That there's nothing else there to protect me. I just got to say what it is.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
One more time. Here we go.
Okay.
Great start. Great start. And again, it seems very casual and you just jump in. And that's why I'm trying to make it conversational, asking you, well, you know, what was it like before you and Billy were married?
Oh, when Billy and I were first married, we fought all the time. I can almost see Billy again. At least I can see his eyes. I can see his hands, his teeth. Oh, he has perfect teeth, not like mine. Something else we fought about. But the rest of the picture is in shadow. Listen, if they want to make the Hollywood blockbuster of all time, yeah, one of those stories of tragic romance is sure to have every woman in the theater reaching for her hanky. They should tell the story of a woman whose husband goes away, but he goes away one piece at a time.
Yeah. And again, it's almost like a joke. It's like crazy. It's like, yeah, keep going.
First an arm vanishes, then a leg, then his eyes and his hands and his teeth. Finally, she can't remember what he looked like at all. That's what hurts. That's what's peculiar. Losing him a little at a time.
I love you, Cindy. That was the best. This is the whole reason that I wanted to pick this piece for you.
Really?
Really.
Hmm.
See, you got to set yourself up for that deep emotion. You got to keep denying that deep emotion. And then when there's no more story left, that's all that's left is the deep emotion. And it's right there because your action was to suppress your emotion. And you no longer had the energy to suppress it. So you only had the energy to tell the truth. And those last 3 lines are the truth of the monologue. It's beautiful. And you keep working on that. You go to an audition with this piece in Cleveland. Let's keep working on this. This is really works really well for you. And it shows, and it opens up a side of you that I wanted to try to crack open and see if we could. And it's right there for you. Your vulnerable side is wide open, but you got to protect it with all of your life. And then when you have no more life to protect it with anymore, it will automatically come out just like it did then. You watch the playback tomorrow.
Now, when you said audition in Cleveland, you mean for your show?
No, when I say whatever, any show that you're auditioning for.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a really good piece for you to take out, especially if it's a drama. Great. Okay, come on back, everybody.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Good. Oh, good. So you see how that works so well when you're trying to push against suppressing emotion and you're trying to make a joke out of it. You're trying to do anything you can but cover it up. If that's your process, then when there is no more story to tell, all of that just reveals itself. I mean, that last moment that Cindy had there was stunning, wasn't it? I mean, just completely beautiful. Really nice.
Thanks.
Excellent work, my good students. I love you all. Thank you for coming tonight. And I'll let you know about Sunday, Cindy, if there's a way to get you in on that. But yeah. I've also got to try to get Barbara in too, because she's missed 2 classes and I want to try to get her a makeup. So, well, I know, but I you know me, I'm always going to try to make as many people as I can happy at the same time, which is really frightening. And Abigail and Jillian, you just keep working in the way you're working. And I just want you to notice, Abigail, you notice how much fun Jillian has talking about the things that she's making up about her character. She has fun doing it, and it's a worry for you. And I just want,
I have fun.
okay.
I
all
do.
right. All right. Well, I'm just saying what I see. But I want you to realize that it's a fun thing to make up all of this shit and to play around with.
Yeah. No, I enjoy it.
I know you do.
You know
Okay.
what's interesting? I have fun, or I worry about it 24 hours a day until I'm with other artists who are collaborating, and then I really enjoy talking about it, you know?
Well, can I tell you something that you maybe not believe, but that's exactly how I feel every day before I have to teach a class.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, I know I've been teaching for almost 50 years, but it doesn't make any difference. It could have been day one, because if I don't find something that I can help you with, or I'm not doing something that opens something up for you, then I can't, you know, it's very disturbing to me. And so I worry about it during the day. I mean, really, my schedule is completely different. I think completely different on a day that I teach and a day. It's the same thing, but it's like, and then when I get in class, I'm not worried at all. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm there because I'm engaging with you and I'm busy. I'm making my character of the acting teacher busier than Bill, the schmuck who's sitting there worried that he's not going to come out. Right? How many classes have I taught in my life? Thousands. But I still worry about every one of them before I go back into it. So the worry is part of the artistry. So don't feel bad if you're worried about something. Go, I just got to play through this. That's all. That's how I get with you guys. Once I see you guys, I just want to play.
Right.
And I want to, because I'm trying to teach you to play. So if I don't play, how can I fucking teach you anything?
Well, what helped me was when you said, if you screw up, you're in the right place.
You are.
This is the only place I don't worry about that.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Well, that's the truth of artistry. You know, you just can't be worried about screwing up, because screwing up is part of the art.
Mhm.
It's the most important part of the art form, is accepting mediocrity and not wanting to live with it and keeping to work with it. Vasily, I don't know what else to tell you, but I love your work on that scene, and it just gets deeper every time. A playwright came to me and said, people love this play. Well, actually, some of you know her. No, I know Vasily may know her, Karen Thibodeau. You know Karen? You
Oh
remember
yeah,
Karen?
I had a class with her. I
Oh
think.
yeah. She's a really good writer. And she wrote this play that the two of us worked on.
The one person.
No, this was another one. She wrote like a 7-character play for a play contest that trying to win $5,000. She came in second, of course.
Oh.
And they came back to her and they said, listen, we really love your play. We want you to make it longer. And so, because it's probably maybe an hour and 10 minutes long now, maybe an hour. And so she called me back. She calls me back and she said, well, they want me to make it longer. And I said, well, that's really stupid. Why didn't they ask you to make it deeper? Right? In other words, she doesn't need to think about how long it's going to be. She will be making it longer, but she should never think she's trying to make it longer. She should only think that she's trying to deepen what she already has, because what she has is a really good idea and they love it. So can we make it deeper? Fuck yes. Will it be longer if we make it deeper? Fuck yes. Same thing with acting. You always want to try to dig deeper every time you do it.
Maybe they didn't know how else to say it.
Well, that's true. I don't know. But anyway.
Vasily, I would love to do a scene with you.
Well,
I feel like a love scene. We could do a love scene. I'm very scared of those.
On Zoom? That'd be interesting.
That's the safest place to do a love scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you did with Anj, Beyond Therapy.
Well, you all have each other's numbers. I enjoy it. Call each other. I love you. I'll see you next week.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Bill.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Vasily.